What is up, my beautiful people? I am back. I feel like I've been gone for a little while, but it is 9 or 8:30 in the morning, and I am up and ready to just talk. So today we are going to be, I am going to be giving some personal, let's call it opinions that was forced upon me as I was growing up, literally from a child or toddler state to almost now. Like, I just want to give you guys some brief lies, pretty much, of what I was told growing up, which was completely flipped and given a terrible name, or just it had a bad rep on it, which I felt was to keep me away from it, but it comes to find out was the truth, and not only the truth but helpful for me. And these are some things that you guys may be able to relate to, if not all of them, but these are some things that I've been told. Now I want to jump straight into it. I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Feels like I've been gone for like a month, but thank you so much for watching this video. I'm gonna jump straight into it now. Before I play this video, I want to go ahead and just give you guys a brief intro of why I'm showing you this video. So one of the things that I was told was that black was bad. Now this video is going to drive my point home as to what I am talking about, but a lot of these things were inflicted on me because of others. Now you will, taking a step back out of life, you will realize that everything you was told was somebody else's opinion, and they wanted you to go by it that way, and they wanted you to live by it the way that they did, because that's the way that they perceived that. So it's like when you're a newborn baby, you don't know anything, so everything that you are told was from somebody. Now, was it the truth? Was it always the right thing? No. So I am just here to point out 10 things that I realized that was just a complete lie, and it was hidden from me, seemingly, I feel, to keep me down, to keep me lost, to keep me asleep. But yeah, this video that I am going to play for you guys, this is black being, I guess, a negative. It had a negative aspect behind it, like all in all. So I'm just gonna play this video.
And I always ask my mother, how come is everything white? I said, why is Jesus white? Why is the Lord's Supper white? Angels are white. Mary and even the angels. I said, Mother, when we die, do we go to heaven? She said, naturally we go to heaven. I said, well, what happened to all the black angels when they took the pictures? And the angel food cake was the white cake, and the devil food cake was the chocolate cake. I always wondered, and the president lived in the White House. And Mary had a little lamb, his feet as white as snow, and Snow White. And everything was white. Santa Claus was white. And everything bad was black. The little ugly duckling was the black dog, and the black cat was the bad luck. And if I threaten you, I'm going to blackmail you. I said, Mama, why don't they call it white male? They lie too. I was always curious. And then this is when I knew something was wrong.
So that was just a very quick video, but I wanted you guys to kind of hop on the bandwagon of what I am trying to get at. So that was just things. You see how he was like pointing out little things that you just told, and it becomes like a part of you, because you're just like, oh, well, that's how everybody else perceives it, so that's how I will, you never actually get to have your own outlook on it. So these are just a couple of things that I am here to point out. Now, one for me, or a second one for me, is staring at the sun. Now, I've always been told when you stare at the sun, it will hurt your eyes. When you stare at the sun, or you shouldn't stare at the sun in general. I was just very separated and disconnected from the sun simply because I was always told wear sunscreen even as a black girl. I wasn't always told this, but when I knew, or my parents knew, that we would be out for a while and we would be in the sun for a while, to wear sunscreen or to make sure that I had something to protect me from the sun, to hide me from the sun. It was like it was branded on me to be disconnected from the sun and stay disconnected from the sun. Like, don't share any relations, don't have any relations with the sun. And looking back, it's just terrible, and it's sad because now looking at the sun, look who I am, look who I've become, and look what it has done for me. I have a connection with the sun, and it is just completely different. It was flipped, and it was giving a bad rep. All of these things on this list actually were just giving a bad rep, and it was just told, I was always told that it was harmful to me. So as I would stare at the sun, or not even stare at the sun, as I would try to hide from the sun, stay in the cool shade. You notice how people want to stay in the cool shade. Oh, it's hot, let's go in the house. They want to stay in the AC, they run from the sun. Now we got people with umbrellas out in midday when the sun is out, trying to be protected or hide from the sun. We got people wearing hats and shades who can't take the sun, sunscreen, all of these different things to furthermore keep us disconnected. And I am just thinking back to myself, like, wow, for what? Like, now it's completely different. Now I'll go sit in the sun in a open field with a tank top on and some shorts and just sit in the sun and absorb all of those light codes and all of that radiation, because it is me. I am absorbing me. I need that. That is life. So, like, for it to have been I guess I can say blackmailed on me, like the sun was just down. Like, it was very hated in a sense growing up. Like, around me, a lot of people, they didn't want to be hot. They didn't want to. The girls didn't want to sweat. The girls, they didn't want to be in the sun. They didn't want their hair to mess up. They didn't want their makeup to mess up. They didn't want for their armpits to sweat. Like, they didn't want any relations with the sun. And now I want to sweat. I want to feel that the sun tingling on my skin. Like, I love all of those symptoms that I get to know, and to know that the sun is hitting me. The sun, I am absorbing the sun, which is something that was completely, taken away from me growing up. So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this video going fast. I don't want to be too talkative and I don't want to elaborate too much on each thing, but I am going to be giving you guys like a backstory as to why I felt that it was a lie. Now, another one was going vegan. Oh my goodness, this was a big one for me. I was told, like, this was actually when I started going vegan, because growing up in a family where meat is kind of a part, or basically a part of each dinner, each night, like, you had to have a piece of meat on your plate in order for it to be considered a meal. Going vegan was starting to be like downplayed when I start going vegan, and this is for every vegan. I feel like there's always that one person. How do you get your protein? Which I made a video on, guys. If you want to go check that out, please feel free to. I went into all of this, so I'm just gonna keep this one brief. But going vegan was something that was definitely shadow banned. Like, people just, they were completely against it. They felt as though, and by they I mean my family, they felt, how are you getting your nutrients? How are you getting your minerals and your protein overall? And they didn't understand that the original source of protein was from what the animals were taking. Does a cow eat meat, or does a cow eat the grass that you're telling me not to eat? Not saying that I eat grass, but you get what I'm saying. Like, those animals have to get their minerals and vitamins and proteins from something, right? And if it's not an animal that eats natural plants and herbs, then it is dead. It's toxic, like a pig. There's nothing beneficial from eating a pig. That is intestines and just blob overall. But I'm not gonna get into that. I have a video on that, but that is definitely one. Like, I was just told a lot, I shouldn't be vegan. You need to eat meat. You need some meat. You need to start eating chicken at least. No, like, it was just, it just has you, it keeps you in your mind a lot. And these are just, they don't understand it, so they want you to feel how they feel. No, I have a bigger outlook on it, so you can either get some information on it or continue to eat your meat and leave me alone. So yeah, going vegan was definitely one. You don't need meat, guys, at all. In fact, stop eating meat. But anyways, voodoo. Now, voodoo is one that was completely flipped. It was given a terrible name, aka known as witchcraft. It was just flipped. It was blackmail to its best, especially for me. Like, I always knew voodoo was like a bad thing. But I am here to tell you, no, it is not. Voodoo, which is French for Valday, Valdai, or Valdo, keyword French, was used for, was nothing more than the use of like holistic herbs or natural energies, which came from natural plants. It was used to heal and to pretty much solve problems, not only for ourselves but for our loved ones and our family. So the French word voodoo, well, excuse me, I said the French word. The word voodoo, which is French, is simply the meaning of sorcerer. Now, if you break that word sorcerer into two, you have the word source, which is nature. Us, we are nature. Our our anatomy is shared with a plant and an animal, so we would go to that natural source to get a problem solved or to receive whatever it is that we needed. Now, it was completely flipped growing up. I was told that it was witchcraft. I was told that it was black magic in a sense, and all of these crazy things. But all in all, voodoo is just a holistic remedy to be used to just solve problems and to help. Now, it is not from the Africans. It was actually from French, which was then given to the Haitians, or was then sent to Haiti, which then was, prolonged and used for whatever it is now used for. But that word is originally French, and it was not black magic, and I was always told that growing up, but no, it is not. I'm here to tell you that. And in fact, I am going to be making a video on that very soon, and I cannot wait to go into that. So yes, be on the lookout for that one. Now, another one is Earth is round or a globe. Now we all have our opinions here. We all have thought. If Earth may be flat, Earth may be round, Earth may be a freaking sphere. Like, we, who knows? But that is something that I've always been told. Earth was round, and my opinion, yes, I'm one of those people who is completely against that analogy. Not that it matters, especially at this time, but I believe that Earth is not flat. Earth is actually, I wish I can show you the picture that's in my head, but if you do psychedelics and if you take a psychedelic, you can, if you're ready, I should definitely say, if you are ready, you can take psychedelics and see the sky for itself and see where we are truly at. Now, when I say that, I say that to say that I feel as though I got a glimpse of where we are truly at. Now, I'm trying to think of a shape or something that you guys can imagine. I guess I can use the example of a tunnelish. Okay, so picture a tunnel but with round closed ends on each side. So it's just like a long, not necessarily a circular, but a long shape with closed round ends. So it's almost like I wish I can pull it up and show you. Actually, that's what I'm gonna do, because I actually want to show you what I seen. Let me see if it is known as a sphere. Let me see. No, it's not a sphere. Okay, I can go here though, and I can show you guys what I mean. Okay, do you guys see this here? Hopefully you can. A cylinder. There we have. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, so yeah, when I took this psychedelic, it wasn't a psychedelic, or it wasn't like mushrooms or anything, but when I did do this, I got to see reality in a sense. So it was similar to this. It wasn't exactly this, guys, but it was very similar to this. Now imagine this, but with like more rounder edges instead of like a circular edge. So yeah, it was that type of thing. So I was always told that Earth was round and that it rotates and all of this jazz, and that that everything, like, you know, the North Pole, then the North or the South Pole, like all of that good jazz that I will go into in another video. But that was just something that I was thinking about. Like, Earth is definitely not round, but we all are entitled to our own opinion at the end of the day. Now, something else that I wanted to go into was college or school. Now, everybody feels this way. I don't care what you say. So who wants to go to school? Who genuinely wants to sit in the class? Like, if you had the choice to already know this stuff and already be successful, then that is definitely what you would go for. Like, who genuinely wants to go to school? So growing up, from my parents, I was always told, even from my teachers, man, they was telling me college is mandatory. Well, not necessarily mandatory. School was mandatory, and college meant that you would succeed. No, I'm my own teacher now. I, of course, have mentors on YouTube, which I always get into, but no, college, I would never go to college. I would never go to college. And even though I did go my freshman year to college, I never would go to college because there is absolutely nothing in there that is for me. Why would I need to know any of that? That is not important. That is not truth. Neither is it important, and I honestly would never go back to college. And school is a complete waste of time. It is and beneficial, and it is a lie? Why are we told this fake his story and it is not even the real history? So yeah, by us forcing, or by them forcing us to go to school, kept us in jail, it seemed like, and it imprisoned us, and our minds were never able, we were never able to truly create and expand our level of consciousness, simply because we had to obey this law of going to school. I remember absolutely nothing from school, and I'm more than intelligent. So yeah, school is definitely not important, and it is actually harmful to the mind. You are keeping, that's why some kids, for example, you may see some kids who act out in school and they don't want to sit in this box all day and color in the lines and participate with these other students, because that's not, they know that that's not for them, that is not them. They don't want to be there, they don't want to sit down, they don't want to be quiet. Children want to run, they want to play, they want to be loud, as they should, because they are children. Now growing up, we had to shut up, we had to be quiet and study and just interact with all of these different people. Why? Because it was we were forced to. And school, I would never go back to school, I would never go back to college, and I'm being so freaking truthful when I say that. And when I have my kids, they not going to school, they not gonna be sitting around being you know, brain dead or anything, but they will definitely not go to school. They will be taught by me and other mentors of that sort. They will know how to read and write. That's the only thing that school has taught me how to do, that I can say that I'm grateful for. But other than that, no, absolutely not. But moving forward, the term "we are all the same." Now, I mentioned this in almost all of my videos. I elaborate on this literally in 98% of my videos. We are not all the same, whether that is genetically, physically, mentally, spiritually. Like, it is an immense amount of ways for me to explain as though why we are not the same, and that is being the golden race, the melanated race, the colored, compared to any other race outside of that. And any other race outside of the colored race is genetically modified, meaning created and spliced and then recreated and recreated and recreated over time to then, I guess, blend in as the natural deities of this planet. They weren't here for over 6,000 years ago, but ask yourself, who was here for more than 6,000 years? So, no, we aren't the same at all, and we have no comparisons at all, but that is something that I was told all of my life. We are all the same, we are all God's children. Negative. No, that is not it. And this is not a hate thing. This is not a I'm not being biased, nor am I being racist, but I am just telling the truth, and sometimes the truth is more hurtful than the lie. So yeah, anyways, moving forward, I only have a couple more. I already talked about school. I had 2 points on that. And the last thing that I am going to say is the queen. Now, who has been told this growing up, that the queen of all was this lady right here? This was the queen. Now, my parents told me this. My parents told me this, and I even as a child, I would kind of corner eye it and be like look at it sideways and say like, is she the queen? Like, she doesn't even give me queen, vibes. Like, my heart, it didn't settle with me at all. So I'm so thankful for the level of understanding that I have now, and why she was labeled as the queen, which she is not. We are the queens, black ladies. My colored queens out there, we are the true queens. This is not a queen. But I want to make a video on this. I do have a couple of notes here. Now, as you can see, this is how the gold that they have, we contain this in our DNA. Not only do we contain gold, we contain zinc, copper, and all sorts of different minerals in our blood, in our DNA, in our genetics. So when they put gold out in the rings and in the jewelry and in the golds that you buy, they are selling us back to us. They stole it and selling it back to us. They're giving us back to us. That's just like giving water or selling water to a whale, selling water to a fish. Like, that's them. So when I look at this, I think, no, this is not the queen. This is a caucasoid, or a deity that has stolen a legacy, and that is pretending to be something that she is clearly not. Now, as you can take a look here, these gold plates are stacked in fours and rows of 8. These pictures are so pixelated and so blurry. I can just feel with my heart that these aren't even real people, if you get what I'm saying. But now, these are stacked in fours and rows of 8. Now, Barack Obama was the 44th president. I want to get into numerology and deeply, I really want to get into, because everything has a meaning behind it. Every number pretty much has a meaning behind it. So Barack Obama was the 44th president, which is number 8, which is where he got the Xfinity sign from, which originally meant forever, or constant. So the infinity sign, which stands for the figure 8 in this lower dimensional existence, which means our lower chakras, our lower root chakras up to our throat chakra. That's it. So there's no third eye chakra, there's no crown chakra. It just goes from our lower chakras up to our throat chakra, which is why they use the number 4s, 8s. The 2s, 4s, and 8s, they use even numbers. We use odd numbers. So I want to get into numerology, and I want to start studying that so I can be able to decode a lot of things. But guys, that pretty much wraps up my video. These are just a couple of lies that was inflicted on me, and I was tricked. Hopefully you guys can step outside of the box and kind of decode some things that was told to you, that you now use as tips and tricks to be enlightened overall. But peace, love, and light to you guys. I will be coming back this afternoon with another video. This was just a quick little video, some tips just to pop back in. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Peace, love, and light.